Hi there, welcome back to Netcode-Hub channel. Now, this channel, we learn how to create mobile applications and also web applications using .NET framework. So, this video, we're going to talk about how to create multiple databases, how to create multiple DbContexts, and within these DbContexts, create relationship among them using the EFCore 7, that is the Engine Framework 7. Let me break this down for you to understand what you're about to learn today. Let's say you have two databases. One database over here and one database over there. Now you have model or you have database table, two tables. So you're going to use a customer and a product. Customer resides in one database. Product also resides in one database. Now, you want to link them together. You want to create relationship with them together. I have already done a video about creating relationships. So, we have one-to-one, one-to-many, and a many-to-many. In this, relationship exists in EF7, that's the Entity Framework 7, when the two models or two database tables are in a single database. But in here, we have two separate tables. Two separate tables in two separate databases. So in such case, how are you going to do it? Well, by the end of this video, we have to be able to achieve that target. So this is going to help you, and that's what mostly we use in an app development and the programming environment, because you might have two tables in a separate databases whereby you want to just grab them together. How are you going to do it? That is what you're going to do. So when you check the playlist, you're going to see a lot of Blazor projects, and there's a lot of Blazor lessons that you can follow along. Feel free to comment, like it, and also in case you have any issue too, let us know. Now this project is going to have a source code at the GitHub, so maybe I can just publish this at the GitHub, so you can just click on the link and then grab it over there as well. Okay, so let's keep going. Now, the first thing to do here is we have to create our project. So how do you create project? So in order to create project, you click on the file. So new project. And now we are going to use Blazor WebAssembly project in this lesson. So I'm going to select Blazor WebAssembly. And now here I'm going to name it as. So Blazor WebAssembly dot multiple, and I can use DbContexts. So multiple DbContexts. Maybe you can add a relationship, or you can just maintain this because you want to create a multiple DbContexts. So now the location is over here, working projects, and that is the solution. I'm going to click on next. I'm going to use EFCore 7. Okay, because that is what we're going to use. Now with the EFCore 7, I'm not sure we can create relationship between two databases or two DbContexts. If it is one DbContext, that's fine. But for separate two contexts, I'm afraid I'm not sure we have that. So we're going to do this manually, okay? So that maybe when you have it, you can do it along. Now let's click on, so we select .NET 7.0, click on create. We check ASP.NET Core hosted, so you can have access to the three projects. That's the client, the server, and also the shared. Now, whilst we are in here, there are some few things that we have to do. So we can create our models. So let's create two models for this. So we're going to create it inside this shared. So I can just right click on this, create a folder. And to organize our work, we can put it in a folder as models. So these models, let's create a class. So the class first, we're going to be customer. Now this customer must have name. So this is public. And I'm going to say this ID. So that is customer ID. Now I can have string and maybe I can have customer name. Okay, so when I have this customer name, maybe what's the next thing to do? I can have customer location. So there's going to be location, and here can also be same string. Okay, now we have this model. Let's create another one, and that's going to be product. So class, and now there's going to be product. So here make it as public, and now when it comes to you can have an ID, you can have name, maybe you can have description and categories. Okay, so you want to have this name, you want to have description, and maybe you can add price. So here you can make it as double, and let's do price. Okay, now the next thing that we want to do here is, you see this product, let's say this product relates to a particular customer, so we can have, and that's going to be customer ID. You could see that in the normal sense, you could have added an object here as public customer, then we're going to have this customer ID. So we could have done something like this. So here we say customer, then we can have customer. Okay, so you could have added an object like this. Now this is going to create the relationship. So here is going to be one, then we're going to create to many. But since we are creating database, or we are creating a connection in two separate databases, we can't use this relationship. If we use that, because we're going to link only one model to the DbContexts here and there. Now it's going to create another one inside the same model. So in single model or in single DbContexts, we're going to have the two models. We don't want to have that. So you want to assign only a product model to a DbContext, and want to assign only a customer model to also another DbContext. So in such case, this is not allowed. We can do this in a manual way. So how do you do it? So let's clear this. We have this customer ID. So meaning any product that you pass into the database, you must have an ID to it, and that ID relates to the customer ID. Now, when you do this, we are not enforcing referential and cascade integrity. That means when we delete any customer details here, and the ID is being related to the product, it's going to maintain. Example is when you have customer ID of 1. So the first one is 1. Now we have assigned a product to the customer ID as 1. Now later on, we decide to delete the customer with the ID 1. So it means all the data, all the products related to that particular customer must be deleted. That is when cascading integrity has been enforced. It's going to delete all the products related to that particular ID because that customer does not exist. So why do its products should exist? That is it. But since we're not having that, although we can delete the customer with the ID of 1, but this data still remains. Okay. So let's move on with this and see the outcome of this. So now you see we have product, we have customer, okay, over here. And in the product, we have the customer ID because each product is going to relate to a particular customer. Okay. Okay. So later on, we're going to say a customer will have a list of products. So when you pass in this ID, it means you can retrieve the customer data from this because this is a customer ID. So this particular product belongs to this particular customer. So that's what we are doing. Now we save this. Let's go in there and create a folder as data in our server. So right click on it. Let's add a new folder, and that's going to be data. So inside this, we want to add a class. So this class, I'm going to say we have product DbContexts. Now let's also create another one, and that's going to be customer DbContexts. So that's also customer DbContexts. Now both contexts gonna have the same type, okay? But before we go on to this, we have to install some packages, and we have to install our entity framework core. We have to install our SQL server and also design to enable us to perform .NET EF migration. So let's have that installed. So to install that, we have to install these projects or these packages on the server. So right click on the dependencies and I go to manage NuGet packages. So we are going to click on the browse tab and we have to install entity. So this entity we need, first of all, we need design. Let's install design. And you know, we don't want to, let's uncheck this pre-release because we are using the 7.0 version. So let's install the design. After that, we install SQL server, and also we can install the EFCore, that is this one over here. So let's accept this and install EFCore 2. Accept it. Let's install SQL Server 2. So okay, accept it, and that is it. So when you click on dependencies, you must have, and the packages, you must have these three: design, SQL Server, and EFCore installed. All right. So once you are done, we can now close this, and this is going to inherit from DbContexts. So DbContexts. Now DbContexts here, it is a class from the EFCore. So as soon as we add this, we might have the EFCore namespace included here. So DbContexts. So control period, control plus dots, because you're using EFCore. Then we have to generate a constructor over here. And let's copy this customer DbContexts and let's pass it in here, which is going to inherit from the base class. This base class here, it is the DbContexts it is referring to. Okay, so once you're done with this, you can actually grab the same thing here. Then let's go to product DbContexts. We can now create a constructor here. So let's delete this. Control KD. Now this is product. So product DbContexts. Can copy this, we paste this here. Yeah. So the next thing to do here is let's specify this. So we say prop, then we say dbset, and here it is for product. And we say products. So we say product. Okay. Then let's go to the customer, and we're gonna have the same thing. So dbset. So this is customer. Not customer DB, rather customer, because we are referring to the model. So customer, and we can say customers. So let's include the model folder. Okay. So now we have this. Let's go in there and perform database migration. But before that, we have to create a connection string. Where can we create them? At the app-setting.json. So let's put them here. So we say connection strings. Now the first connection here, it is product connection. Then we say server is equal to local, because we are referring to local DB. Now database, so you have database is equal to, so product DB. Then let's have trusted underscore connection. We set this to true, and trust server certificate. We also set this to true. Okay, so this is our connection for the product connection. Now server local and the database is product DB. We have trusted connection to true, trust server certificate. We can also set this to true. Now what you have to do here is let's put up comma because you want to create another one. Okay, so this is also another one, but let's try to change this to customer. So this is customer connection. So this customer connection that we have here, the database here, it is customer DB. So this is also customer DB, and the same next attribute, the same as what you see with the product connection. Now once you have this, let's save this. Let's go to program.cs file, and now let's register these connections here. So we have to register before the app.build. So we say builder.services. So add DbContexts. So DbContexts, you have to pass in so product DbContexts. Then we pass in this options, which maps to this options dot use SQL server that we installed. And how do we get the connection strings? We can use builder dot configuration dot get connection strings. Then we can pass in the first one, that is the product connection. So you can now close this, and let's see if that is all that we need to do. So let's see, now we have this. So configuration, that is this one, use SQL server, and you have to terminate it. Now it is asking us to close this, so we can grab this also. We can grab this, and at the next line we can paste this here. So in order for us to not make mistake, and just go the product, copy this, program.cs, paste this here, go to the next one, copy this, then come to the program, and now paste it there. So instead of this product, it's going to be what? Customer DbContexts. So grab this, now come in here and paste it here, and that is all. So let's save this. Now let's perform migration. So click on tools and click on NuGet package, go to package manager console. So we perform migration in order for the EFCore, the package that we installed to create database table as we have identified them over here. Okay, so we are doing the software part, then the EFCore going to do the hardware part, because we're going to create a database. So we can see here we are creating the configuration, and here the EFCore going to create a database for us physically. Yeah, that is so we can see. Okay, now let's clear this. Let's type in .NET and see if it is installed. As soon as you install the design, okay, so it is installed. So this means that it's part of the design. So when you install design, the EFCore.design, you can have this .NET EF. And when you install EFCore.tools, you're going to have the add DbContexts. Now that works only in Visual Studio. We can use that one as well, and we can also use this too. Okay, so let's say so .NET EF migrations. So add create product table. Okay, so this is the first name that we are giving to, but you know we can use context. The reason why you have to specify context is we have two databases or two contexts over here. So let's specify the product, since we are going to create the product. So context over here, And this is what you're going to do. You can specify -o as output. So open a folder called data, create a folder as migrations, and do all your stuffs in it. Now let's run this and see what's going to happen. Now it's saying no project was found, so cd. Now ls, let's see the list of projects that we have. So let's copy this. So in here, cd, paste this. So change directory, then ls, you have the list. So cd server, because that's what you want to perform. You see ls, you have everything here. Now let's go to good. Now let's try this and see if it's going to work. So build started, and now we are waiting to see a folder created in this a folder which is known as migrations. So let's wait. Now it is saying use build to see the errors. Now let's build this and see what we have. So let's see. Let's see why we have this error. So in normal circumstance, this is what you want to do. Is it the error coming from here? So it's saying that services collection does not contain as at DbContexts. So let's try to fix this. So this is what we want to do. Let's see if the error is coming from this area. Okay, so let's try to visit this area. So control KB. So we have to that DbContexts. Save this. Now let's see. Let's need solution. Let's build this and see the errors. So succeeded. All right, so you can see it is solved now. Now let's do same to this one. And let's see. Okay, now let's do it again. So let's see if this one will work. So you can see we have build started, now succeeded, and we have error in here. So it is saying that the DbContexts option passed to the product DbContexts must be a DbContexts option. So this. Let's we skip this. Now let's go there and check. So product DB. Whoa, so this is a DbContexts option for product DbContexts, and that is what we have here. Okay, now let's check for the customer. So we have same to DbContexts option. We have customer DbContexts option. Let's check again. So product DbContexts and product DbContexts, customer DbContexts, customer DbContexts. Okay, now let's check there. So it's saying that so the DbContexts option passed to the product DbContexts constructor must be a DbContexts option product when registering multiple DbContexts types. So make sure the constructor for each context type has a DbContexts option, that's the T context parameter rather than a non-generic DB options, context options parameter. So let's see DbContexts option. All right, so let's trace back to this DbContexts, and you can see we are using a wrong constructor. Let's go to the product DbContexts. So product DbContexts. Whoa, so see here. Now here must be not customer DbContexts, but it's supposed to be the same product DbContexts. So let's grab this and then put it here. Let's check if the customer DB also has the same thing. That's right. Now let's build this. All right, so build succeeded. Now let's go in there and undo it again. So let's see. Now build succeeded, and I can see that is done. So we have to also create same for. So this time around, since we have the route identified, you can clear this off, and maybe we can also use it. So we have this is product DbContexts. Now let's copy this customer DbContexts. So let's paste this, and now this is instead of this create product, this is going to be create customer. So with this, let's run this and see. Now build started, so succeeded, and that is also done. So when you go to the data folder, you can see we have migration folder created, and that migration we have create product table, and also we have the create DB or customer DbContexts. So you can see we have the two over here, the two migrations, customer DbContexts. Let's see. Okay. So here, as you can see, we did not specify. So we have one migration in the migrations data, and we have one also here outside. Okay, let's maintain that. So once you have the next thing to do here is to perform database. So .NET EF. Before that, let's clear the screen. So .NET, then we have EF database update, then product DB, is it DbContexts? I'm sure that is this. So .NET EF update database update DbContexts. You have to specify this by using this context. So let's work with the customer. Let's copy this and update DbContexts. So what is the name over here? So the name for this migration is, let's grab the, so here it is create customer. So update this, then you can select customer DbContexts. Okay, so you have to add this context, then customer DbContexts. Let's add the T. Okay, now let's see if this one going to work. So build started. Let's see if build going to succeed. Okay, so it's going to run the EFCore queries for us. Now it is done. So we have to do same for this create customer table. Now let's check the other one, and we open data folder, migrations, and as you can see we have the so create product table. We can grab this here, and let's change this. Let's change this, and here instead of the customer, it's going to be product. Okay, so let's run this through and see. So build started, and let's wait to see if build is going to succeed. Okay, so that is it. Now when we go to our server explorer, so view, then SQL Server Object Explorer. So SQL Server local DB, and this databases. Then having this, let's open this databases. We're also not having this over here. Let's refresh this to see. Okay, so unless we add a new one, so let's click on this. We go for new connections, and that's our local. So the first one, and connect. So connected. Let's open this databases, and you can see we have the product and we have the customer over here. So let's open this table, and let's open this also. That's the product DB. Now tables too. So this customer, let's view data, and also let's wait for this product table. Then we can also, let's go for view data. So we have two data here from a separate database table. The first one is the product. So let's close this. The first one is the product. So you have product ID and name. So that is a name. And we can ask of this our product we want to sell. So we're going to have school bag is our product. And this school bag description, you can write for school. And the price is, let's say, 45.54. And the customer ID here, it is 1. Okay, so let's add another one. Let's say shoes. And description, this is for shirts. And the next one is the price is 78.99. Customer ID, let's say it is 2. Let's add one more, and this is car, and description is for work, and price here it is, customer ID is 3. Okay, now the next thing to do here is we can now save this. Let's go to the customer, and now the ID is going to be added. So the first one is, so we have Frederick Hughes, and location here, that is, let's say in Ghana. We have Franklin, so we have Morrison, and location here it is USA. Okay, then the next one we have Seth. Now you can see we have all these. You can add Seth Cook, and you're gonna have location as, let's say, Nigeria, right? So we have these 3 data here. Let's run this. Now, once you're done with this, we need to create our DTO. Now, this DTO is going to grab us the content of this and that database from the data from the customer and data from the product. So let's see how to go about that. Let's first create our controller first, or we can decide to create our DTO. So let's go to the shared project, and now in here models, right click on this and now add new class. So you can say this is a response DTO. So let's say this is, let's make it response DTO. So this response DTO. Now here it is public. So with the help of this, we can use records. Is it a new feature in C# 9 or 8 or 10? It's a record that we can actually use this record in order to create this. Now, when you use this record, you need not to specify the whole property type because it's a record. So it picks it at once, and it is a record and it's found in that specific DTO. So the only thing that we need to do here is to specify the data type and the name, and you are good to go. So instead of this, we're going to say, instead of the public class, we're going to say public record. Okay, and we can add this tag to it. So in here, what you have to do here is you open this, and now this needs these parameters. So because you have int ID, you want to grab the ID. Okay, so let's make it this ID here. You can have string name. That's want to grab name, and want to also grab a list of products, right? So a list of products, then we say products, because we want to get the character that is going to be the customer. You get a customer, you pass in the ID. Since we have a relationship, or we have an ID linked inside the table, we can now use the same ID to fetch data from the product table. We have this D2 as a response from the database to the user. Now let's go to our controller, right click, and now let's add a new controller. And that's going to be an API empty one, and we're going to make it as, let's say this is customer controller. So this customer controller, let's create generate constructor, and in this, let's say this is product DbContexts, and this is customer. Let's inject the two customer DbContexts. So control period, create an assigned field down here. Now this also creates an assigned field down also as well. So we have now injected them and initialized them so we can use. Now the first method that we need to do is we can get. Okay, so we can get, and now this get, we need to specify some parameter. And you know the parameter here is an ID. This ID is an integer. So we have to get the public, and this is an async. You know, since we're getting data from database, it has to be an async. So action result. Now in this result, we have to pass in this response DTO, because at the end of the day, we want to grab that. So, and we can give it a name as get. So we say int ID. You make sure the ID that is specified here, how you wrote it, might be the same thing here. So it won't look different. Now, this is what we are doing. So let's say var user or customer. Customer is equal to await. So there's a customer DB context dot customer. So this is the one database dot first or default. You can use first or default or first async. Okay, so that is first or default. Now whereby customer max to c dot id is equal to this ID coming in. So we say if customer is not equal to now, that's what you want to do. So if customer is not equal to now, then want to say var product. Okay, product equal to some await, and that is a product DbContexts dot product dot where. Okay, so where customer max to customer. Okay, or we can use it as where product max to product dot customer ID. Okay, it's equal to this customer dot ID dot toList. Okay, so you know we are acquiring this customer. So when this data is found, we're going to now look through this data product database and now grab the product which have the same ID as the customer here. Now when we have the answer, we say var result. Okay, var results is equal to, then the next thing to do here is we have to populate this, or we can say return new return. So return, okay, and here we have new response DTO. So we have response DTO. Then with this DTO, we need to specify in some few items here. And what you need to specify, one is customer dot ID. So aside from this, we need to specify the name. Okay, so the name here is going to be customer dot name. And also we can specify customer dot location. And the last one, we need a list of products. So with the list of products, just pass in this product. So you pass in this product over here, and that is this. Now you can see from here we did not specify location, so let's go to the DTO, and now you can specify string location. Okay, so now we have this, we save it. Now let's go back here and I'll see what we have. So we have this. Now it is saying something here. It's saying the name product does not exist. So let's grab this and now we move it inside here. So you have to check this as now. So let's do that. Okay. So else, in case it is not, then return, let's say, not found. All right, so that's what you want to do. Now you see from here, we first grab, it's like we are creating the relationship over here. That is the one-to-many. We first grab the customer. When the customer is found, use the ID and search through the other database and get the data which have in relation with this database with the ID, customer ID. Now let's save this. And what you have to do here is you have to run application and see what we have at the end. So let's see what we have now with this. You see we have error here. So this is expected. So we can clear this off. Now let's try it again. Okay. So we wait to see the outcome here. So we need to specify an ID to enable to connect to HTTPS. Now let's check the controller first. So we have our get method. So this is the syntax. We have action results, and it is coming to response DTO. So get, we have an ID to return this. Let's try once more. Okay, so the error is coming from this area. It must be this. So ID and must be an integer. I think problem solved now. Let's run it again. And now let's see. So it is opening our application for us. And as you can see from here, you can now go to our API. And now with this API, the method is get. You pass in the ID of 1. And now let's see if we can have something over here. So let's specify API controller name first. So API, we have a controller name as customer. Then slash, we have ID of 1. So you can see this is an ID. Now you can see we have the name as Frederick Hughes. This is the location, and these are the related products that he has. And that's the customer ID of 1. Let's pass in the next one 2. Now you can see we have this one 2 as 2. And we can pass in this 3. Because we have this. Now the next one that I want to do here is let's grab the whole list. So instead of this, you're going to say HTTP, and that's going to be get method. So you're going to grab everything, and you're going to be public async task, and you want to return action results. So let's say action results, and now this is going to be, let's say, a list of. So to do this, we have to create a list of this model. Okay, so you want to grab the whole people list. So what do you have to do over here? So let's pass in a list of response DTO. So that's the response DTO. And now we can say get all. Since you want to return all, we don't need to pass in any parameter. Now what you have to do here is let's create let's say response list. Okay, it's equal to new then list of the response DTO. Now let's get the customers. So let's say customers is equal to await, so customer DbContexts.customers, so .toList async. Now here, this is what you want to do. So if customers is not equal to now, then you want to look through the customer. So for each, now you can say var customer in customer. Then in here, you want to get the product related to a particular customer. So product is equal to await. Then you're gonna have product DbContexts.product.where. Okay, so where product dot or product match to product dot customer ID is equal to customer dot ID. Okay, .toList async. So you want to grab data from this. I want to grab all products related to a customer, this specific customer here with its ID. So in case we can say that, so if product is not equal to now, then this is what you want to do. You can say var new DTO is equal to new response DTO. So new response DTO, and now we can populate it as what? Customer dot ID. Then we need customer dot name. Then we need customer dot location, and we need a product. To make this nullable, let's check it over here, and we check the name as well. So when we are done, let's grab this customer list. The next line dot add, then let's add this new DTO, and that's all. Now at the end of the day, we have to return. So return OK with the response list. Else we can return bad request. That is when no data found here. So let's save this, and let's see, this must stop. So it must come here, not where we are looking through. So it must come here. Yeah, so rebuild and run it. And let's see what it has. So you see, initially we're able to get the customer data. We pass in 1, then we're going to get the data here. Now let's try this and see. So we see we have it. Now we have 2, we get it. So let's take off this parameter and let's see. So you must get all the data or the list of customers. We have only 1, so let's try that one here. So API/customer. Let's see. So we also have 1. Now let's see what happens here. Now once we have this, if product not equal to now, then okay, so return okay here, that is wrong. So you have to return okay at the end of the for each loop. So let's clear this. Let's save this. Let's see. So edit this. And now let's try. Yeah, so you can see we have all. We have the list. And if I zoom it, you can see we have ID of 1. We have ID of 2. So you can see ID 1 here. So this is an ID product, ID 2, and that is the list of products, ID 3, and that's the list of products. All right, so that is it. Now you can see we've been able to get data from two databases, and we've created the manual relationship between the two database table. So when you have two databases that you need to work with, and you want to create a relationship, you can do that. But this time around, it has to be manually. Yeah. So that is it for this video. I hope you've learned something today, and I'm also glad to also teach you or to facilitate this. If you like what I'm doing, just give me a thumbs up. Also comment it. In case you have any issues, you can just leave it there at the comment section, and we attend to it shortly. Now, the next thing here is I'm going to leave the GitHub. That's the source code at GitHub. So check the description. Have the link there. You're going to have the link. Click on it to grab the source code. Also check the playlist, and you can see we have a lot of videos over there. That's the lessons for a full project, and also these lessons we're going to help you understand Blazor and also mobile app development using .NET MAUI framework, and etc. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully I'm going to catch you on the next video. Take care.